A group of people wanted to belong. The door of a door, a legacy that has been passed along. And so these families began to build their dream, the sacred Jewish home of Chanutzim.
Guided by our past, we learn and teach and grow our tree of life, Tikkun Olam. We're not afraid to stand for what is right, planting the seeds to build a strong identity, loving kindness, justice, and community. I am Sinai, welcoming, loving Sinai, roots and tradition for the Jewish life's our mission, a shining light for me. That's why I'm Sinai, growing together. Sinai, found my connection. We're more than a congregation. We're a family. Standing here today, we know the journey's only just begun. Anive Atah, we build our future here with everyone. So join us to celebrate what's been and what will be. Together we'll make Jewish memories. I am Sinai, welcoming, loving Sinai, roots and tradition for the Jewish life's our mission, shining light for me. That's why I'm Sinai.
Shabbat Shalom. Oh, it is so good to have Cantor Norman back. Just in case he was unsure as to whether he was missed, we missed you, Cantor. We are glad to have you back. Nobody is happier than I am. And he didn't just come back, but he brought a friend, Cantor Gitlin, who was with us. How long ago was that? It was a year?
1 year ago.
1 year ago.
Exactly.
So we get just a bonus for this. So nice to be able to celebrate Shabbat. Nice to see so many people here. Nice to celebrate some simchas and even share in some sorrows. We are going to begin page 128, Shalom Aleichem. We invite our ministering angels to come and accompany us home.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu, Moachem Leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Milech Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei
Each of us enters this moment with a different need. Some hearts are full of peace and gratitude, overflowing with love and joy. They're eager to confront the day to make the world a better place. They are recovering from illness or have escaped misfortune, and we rejoice with them. Some hearts ache with sorrow. Disappointments weigh heavily on them. Families have been broken. Loved ones lie on a bed of pain. Death has taken a cherished loved one. May our presence and caring bring them comfort. Some hearts are embittered. Ideals are betrayed and mocked. Answers sought in vain. Life has lost its meaning and value. May the knowledge that we too are searching restore our hope and renew our faith. Page 130, Lechun Eranana Ladonai, come let us sing to Adonai. Page 130.
Lechun Eranena, Lechun Eranena, Lechun Eranena Adonai. Lechun Eranena, Lechun Eranena, Lechun Eranena Adonai. Naria, Naria, Letzuri Shenu, Nekalma Fana Betoda. Naria, Naria, Letzuri Shenu, Bismirot Naria Lo. Lechun Eranena, Lechun Eranena, Lechun Eranena Adonai. Lechun Eranena, Lechun Eranena, Lechun Eranena Adonai.
Bottom of page 131.
Ismech Vashamai,
Ismech Vashamai, Ismech Vashamai, Vashamayim v'tagel haaretz.
Ismech Vashamai,
Ismech Vashamai, Ismech Vashamai, Hashamayim v'tagel haaretz.
Iramayam,
Iramayam, Iramayam, Umlo,
Iramayam,
Iramayam, Iramayam, Umlo.
Ya'lo Sadai v'chol asher po, Asyer Adenu, Kol Hatzayan. Lifnei Adonai kiva kiva yishpot haaretz, yishpot tevel betzedek be'amim be'emunato.
Page 134, Zamru Ladonai Bechinor, sing praise to Adonai with the lyre.
Zamru l'Adonai v'chinor, v'chinor v'kol zimra, v'chatzotzrot v'kol shofar. Ariu lifnei hamelech Adonai, Iram hayam umlo, tevel v'yoshvei bar, ne'arot imcha uchav yachad arim yeranenu.
Lifnei Adonai kiva yishpot haaretz, yishpot tevel betzedek be'amim ve'meisharim. Iram hayam umlo, tevel ve'yoshvei bar,
Ne'arot עמך וכף יחד ערים ירננו.
We welcome Shabbat as if we were welcoming a bride. Page 138, Lecha Dodi.
לך לך דודי, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. לה 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 לך דודי, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה.
שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת לה 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 לה.
לך דודי, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונכר, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נשואה, סוף מעשה ומחשבה תחילה. לה 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 לה. לך דודי, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי,
כי באורך גומי אורי 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 שתברי כבוד אדוני עלי. לה 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 לה.
לך דודי,
לקראת לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה.
לך לך דודי, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה.
We rise, we turn to the door, we welcome the Shabbat bride.
בואי ושלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני המסגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. לה 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 לה. לך דודי, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני פני שבת נקבלה.
Psalm 92, page 140, Mizmor Shir Leyom HaShabbat, a song for the Sabbath day.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, כל להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר
ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
להגיד בבוקר חסדך, באמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בכינור. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. שימחתני אדוני
לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך
Helene Gordon is going to be celebrating a significant birthday. I do all right there, Helene? I didn't say it. A significant birthday. Okay. I'm going to let you figure it all out. And we are inviting her to lead us in the lighting of our Shabbat candle.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Happy birthday, Helene. Page 146, we rise for Baruch Hu.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Ya la la.
Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared?
Page 148. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night, and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tsevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening.
Baruch atah Adonai Amari Varavi.
Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohim, Amen.
Page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Mi chamocha.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נודע מלכותך
ונאמר כיוון את יעקב, וגלמת חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, קהל ישראל.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום ועמידנו שומרנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום ועמידנו שומרנו לחיים. ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום ועמידנו שומרנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום ועמידנו שומרנו לחיים.
ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים ועל ירושלים ועל ירושלים אמן.
The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat in every generation as a covenant for all time. It is a sign forever between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days the eternal God made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from labor and rested.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Shvi, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Veshamru bnei Israel et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Page 164, we rise for Amidah.
Yananai, nai, 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 Adonai. Yananai, nai, 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 שפתי תפתח. Yananai, nai, 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 ופי יגיד. ופי יגיד תהילתך. Yananai, nai, 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 Adonai. Yananai, nai, 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 שפתי תפתח. Yananai, nai, 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 ופי יגיד. ופי יגיד תהילתך. Yananai, nai, 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 Adonai. Yananai, nai, 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 שפתי תפתח. Yananai, nai, 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 ופי יגיד. ופי יגיד תהילתך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק, אלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניכם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור רם אדוני, מחיה כל אתה, רב ליושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מקלקל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ברופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מלחמוך בעל גבורו ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Be seated. You set aside the seventh day for your name, the pinnacle of creation, and you blessed it above all other days, more sacred than all festivals. So it is written in your Torah, the heaven and the earth were finished and all their array. On the seventh day, God had completed the work that had been done, ceasing then on the seventh day. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, and ceased from all the creative work that God had chosen to do. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest. Sanctify us with your mitzvot and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Adonai, our God, grant us as our heritage your holy Shabbat, that Israel who sanctifies your name, may rest on it. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat.
Find favor, Adonai, our God, with your people Israel, and accept their prayer with love. May the worship of your people always be acceptable. God, who is near to all who call, turn lovingly to your servants. Pour out your Spirit upon us. Let our eyes behold your loving return to Zion. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose presence returns to Zion.
Baruch atah Adonai, hamachzir shechinato leTzion, modim anachnu lach.
We acknowledge with thanks that you are Adonai, our God, and the God of our ancestors forever. You are the rock of our lives and the shield of our salvation in every generation. Let us thank you and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your care, for the miracles that we experience every day, and for your wondrous deeds and favors at every time of day, evening, morning, and noon. O good one whose mercies never end, O compassionate one whose kindness never fails, we forever put our hope in you. For all these things, O sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving.
Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulechanai lehodon. Shalom bracha al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom bracha al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adon, bechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom bracha al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom bracha al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. V'tov einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael, v'chol עת ובכל שעה, v'shlomech. Shalom rab al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom rab al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim
Before we take a moment for silent personal prayer, we think about our friends and neighbors, members of our community, members of our own family who are in need of God's blessing of healing. On this Shabbat, we are especially thinking about Audrey Aronchik, Marilyn Beaumont, Osvaldo Barraza, Elliot Citron, Kathy Duchess, Eliyahu Ben Reuven Miriam, Elka Rock, Chana Freda Bat Risa, Rita Gold, Marion Gordon, Ed Johns, Mindy Elizabeth Jones, Susan Jones, Jack Lieb, Maya Bat Devora, Mark Rockfeld, Howard Sanford, Shalom Ben Tikva, Shoshana Devora Bat Chava, Barry Sugar, Nancy Simon, Ruvain Ben Zelig, Vetsivia Halevi, Aryeh Tzvi Ben Sara, Kevin Webb. Mishaberach Avatenu Avraham Yitzhak Ve'Yaakov Ve'imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel V'Leah Hu Yavarach Ve'yira Pei Et Cholim Kodesh Baruch Hu Yamalei Rachamim Aleichem Hachlimam L'Rapotam Hachzikam L'Hachyotam Vayishlach Bimheira Refuah Shlema Refuat HaNefesh U'Refuat HaGuf B'toch Shar Cholei Yisrael Hashta Ba'Galav Izman Kariv and Omar. We say Amen. Take a moment for silent personal prayer.
עושה שרובי ברמאו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו together.
2 weeks ago, I taught the latest session of our series of TSND talks about the deeper meaning of Hanukkah. And most of the time when we think about, I know it's after Hanukkah, but stick with me on this one, okay? Most of the time when we think about the miracle of Hanukkah, we think about the miracle of the oil lasting 8 days. You've all heard that one. Well, much to the chagrin of those who were in attendance that night 2 weeks ago, I debunked the myth of the oil by looking at some additional historical texts which showed that the miracle of Hanukkah actually does not show up until a few hundred years after the actual events. Now, some of the people who were in attendance asked, why then do we keep teaching about the miracle? And I gave what I think was ultimately an unsatisfying answer. And tonight I want to offer something different. Now, when a story or a legend or a myth gets debunked and a person has no other way of understanding it, he or she feels robbed of the story. It's the same with the miracle of the Hanukkah oil. Okay? If a rabbi says, it's just a myth, then the listener may not have another story, or an understanding to take its place. Rabbi Harold Kushner of the When Bad Things Happen to Good People fame wrote a different book. He wrote a book, When Children Ask About God. And he writes, the problem of Santa Claus, and no, this is not a sermon about Christmas, but the problem of Santa Claus is not the trauma of the child's discovering that he doesn't exist, but the absence of anything to replace him. The problem of the Hanukkah oil is that we have to find a true story to replace the myth. So, let's try a different one. Occasionally, we remember that there was actually a military miracle. The small band of fighters against the mighty Syrian army. Now, I wish I could say that Hanukkah was all about religious freedom. The problem is that if we know our Jewish history well enough, we learn that the Hashmoneans, better known as the Maccabees, were the Jewish equivalent of the Taliban. Okay? While they drove out the Greco-Syrians and established a Jewish kingdom that would last about 100 years, from 168 to about 63 BCE, they became oppressors of their own people. The Hashmoneans might have been great generals, but they were terrible rulers. The Hashmonean dynasty was a period of chaos, social upheaval, and forced conversions to Judaism. They opened the doors to the Romans, not exactly Jewish history's finest hour. So, let's try a third and more compelling and lasting Hanukkah miracle. Is there anyone from Queens, like Queens, New York? Anyone from Queens, New York? Okay, this one is for you, Ira, okay? Nobody else is from Queens? Wow. Okay, fine. Look, Queens, in the words of Rodney Dangerfield, gets no respect. Okay? But there is a moment in history in which Flushing, New York, which is in Queens, should actually be truly proud. Okay? Now I'm going to come back to our Hanukkah miracle in a moment. Okay? But let's bring us back to this week, 365 years ago, December 27th, 1657. We find ourselves in the Dutch West Indies Company's colony of New Netherland. not New Amsterdam, that's just the bottom of what is now Manhattan, okay? But New Netherland, which actually spanned pretty much all of present-day New York City and even into Long Island. It would be another 7 years before the area would be captured by the British and renamed New York. Right? The Director General of New Netherlands was a guy by the name of Peter Stuyvesant, whose anti-Semitism was demonstrated when 23 Jews arrived from Brazil looking for refuge in 1654. Since the Dutch West Indies Company, in the Netherlands, had significant Jewish backing, Stuyvesant begrudgingly tolerated the fledgling Jewish community, as long as they were not a burden on society. But 2 years later, in 1656, he enacted in the colony a ban on the practice of all religions outside of the Dutch Reformed Church, the established church of the Netherlands. His decision flew in the face of approximately 100 years of development of religious tolerance in the Netherlands. Yet, it was not the Jewish community that suffered the most. When a group of English Quakers arrived, Stuyvesant's policy resulted in numerous acts of religious persecution and harassment. Quaker religious leaders who were caught meeting or preaching were arrested, tried, and sentenced to manual labor, corporal punishment, or even banishment. His actions were met with some resistance from some other English settlers in the towns known now as Flushing and Jamaica in Queens, places where Quaker missions were sent. So, what happened on December 27, 1657? A group of Dutch citizens, none of whom, by the way, were Quakers, were so affronted by Stuyvesant's religious policies and persecution that they wrote a petition, a document now known as the Flushing Remonstrance. It ends, "The law of love, liberty, and peace in the states extends to Jews, Turks, and Egyptians," that would be a euphemism for Muslims, okay, "as they are considered sons of Adam. If any of these such persons comes in love to us, we cannot in conscience lay violent hands upon them, but give them free egress and regress unto our town and houses, as God shall persuade our consciences, for we are bound by the law of God and man to do good unto all and evil to none. And this is according to the patent and charter of our town, given unto us in the name of the States General, which we are not willing to infringe and violate." The Flushing Remonstrance was met with the full fury of Stuyvesant, who arrested, jailed, and exiled its signers. It was not until the British took over all of New Netherlands that religious freedom became tolerated. And 120 years later, when America's Bill of Rights was being crafted, its architects looked to the document as a model for the First Amendment securing a free exercise of religion. The miracle of a religious minority surviving against a more powerful religious majority brings us back to the Hanukkah story. The compelling Hanukkah miracle and story for us to tell is that the Torah, okay, Jewish knowledge, Jewish practice, was able to compete against the more powerful cultural system, Hellenism, at the time. It is compelling because it is a miracle that we experience every year to this day. In the book of 1 Maccabees, Mattathias says to his sons, "Be strong like Joseph, who was tested." America is not only dangerous because of its anti-Semitism, but for its cultural seduction. As a religious minority in our culture, we are constantly being tested. It would be so easy to succumb to the majority. Yes, the heroes of Hanukkah were defenders of the ancient faith against a Hellenistic enemy that had to be driven out and completely shunned. But what the Maccabees really fought for was the right to live as Jews within a larger culture, taking from the latter the good that it had to give while refusing to accept pressures to assimilate and lose a Jewish identity. 2 weeks ago, I was asked, why should we keep the story of the oil at all? It's not how long the oil lasted, but the very act of lighting it in the face of no real expectations that it would last. And when we light the Chanukiah each year, we affirm for ourselves and the generations that will come after us, no matter where we are, who is in power, and what are our circumstances, that we are proudly Jewish. Our enemies may sneer at us and declare that, like the oil, this people will only last for one day. But we've been defying those odds for thousands of years, all by the power of lighting our lights and affirming our identity. And that is a miracle that I can believe in. So, next week, Sydney Halpern and Harrison Scott, right, a couple who I will get the privilege of officiating at their wedding in, how many weeks have we got? 8 weeks. Right? I'm not counting, but they are. Right? Are going to Israel as part of a program called Honeymoon Israel. It's kind of like a birthright for couples. So they're getting like a pre-honeymoon honeymoon, getting to go to Israel, and we're going to invite them to come up onto the bima to receive a blessing as they head off. Don't stand so far away. You've been up here before. Yehi ratzon milfanech Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu shetolichenu l'shalom v'tatzidenu l'shalom v'tismachenu l'shalom v'tanchenu el mechoz chefsenu l'chaim u'lesimcha l'shalom v'tachazirenu leveitenu l'shalom. May it be your will, Adonai, our God and God of our ancestors, to guide these two and direct their steps in peace, to sustain them in peace, to lead them to their desired destination in joy and in peace, and bring them back home in peace. Save them from all dangers and accidents and from all afflictions that threaten our world. Bless their deeds. May you and all who look upon them view them with grace, loving kindness, and compassion. Hear our supplication, for you, O God, do hear prayer and supplication. Baruch atah Adonai shomea tefillah. Praised are you, Adonai, who hears all prayer. Amen. Have a great trip. Bring me back some... Wait, don't go anywhere. We're gonna invite the congregation to rise. We're gonna open up the ark and continue with Elenu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית,
שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות
כוחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל עוונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, היום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
Be seated. At this point, we turn our thoughts to those who are no longer with us, those who have given us the gift of memory. On this Shabbat, we are thinking about all those who of the yortzites of our congregant loved ones whom we have commemorated this past week. Silva Beich, Martin Eisenberg, Carmen Espinoza de Garcia, Morton Fibus, Joseph Franco, Harris Harold Groton, David Lee Hannon, Erwin Hyman, Moshe Aaron Jacobs, Henry Meyer, Vivian Marcus, Elise Jody Marcus, Benjamin Matrano, Jacob Nutman, Etta Oxenberg, Rose Pollock, Wallace Rosen, Helen Udelson, Zella Wanone, Ruth Iris Waldstein, Bennett Michael Zarin, and we especially think about our long-standing and dear congregant Leanne L. Wasserman, for whom we are dedicating a permanent memorial plaque here in the sanctuary this Shabbat. We also acknowledge those who are remembered on our memorial walls here in the sanctuary who are listed below. We invite the congregation to please rise for Kaddish Yatom, Mourner's Kaddish, page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach rute v'yamlich malchute, B'chayechon v'yomechon v'chaye dechol Beit Israel, Ba'galav v'zman kari v'yimru, Yehi Shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam olomei omaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitada v'yitalev v'yitalal Shemei dekudashah v'yichu, Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'yimru, Yehi Shlama Rabbah min Shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru, Oseh shalom b'mromav, Uyaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, comfort to all who are bereaved. As together we say, Amen. May be seated. Once again, I want to wish all of you a Shabbat Shalom. First, say thank you to Henry Hirsch for serving as our greeter this evening, representing our Board of Trustees. I want to say thank you to Helene Gordon, who sponsored not only in memory of Benjamin Matrano, but of her own birthday. It's printed here, so happy 80th. It's there. I can't get around it. Right? You're either in the sanctuary and it's written down, or it's in the it's on the slide and it says it. So Ad Mea Ve'esrim until 120. So happy anniversary to Toby and Dede Katzker. And then finally to say thank you to Barry Wasserman, who sponsored in loving memory of Leanne. We certainly miss her. Nice to have the whole mishpacha here. A couple of things coming up in the coming weeks. It is that time of year. Friday, January 13th, we hope, I'm asking you to please come and join us for our annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Interfaith Shabbat. It promises to be just a wild night, a wonderful night. The choirs have been practicing, and I am very excited to be welcoming my colleague, my friend, Pastor Arthur Jackson III, who will be our guest speaker. And trust me, okay, you don't want to listen to me give a sermon, come and listen to him give a sermon. Okay? Then the next weekend, January 21st, we continue our I Am Sinai Shabbat series with a program on Jewish genetics and cancer risks within the Jewish community. No, we're not just talking about breast cancer, but all kinds of cancer risks that we in the Jewish community need to recognize that we are predisposed to, and the best way that we can deal with that is by being educated. We have some wonderful speakers, and come and join us on Saturday, January 21st, where we'll have a little lunch and learn together. Then, right, hopefully this week you received your invitation for February 11th, our live from Temple Sinai. It's Saturday Night Live. I promise you that I will get that all figured out over the next couple of weeks. What's most important is not whether I get it together, it's whether you get it together and come on February 11th and pay tribute, say thank you, honor our own Susan Warwick for 18 years of dedication as our Director of Administration, 40 years of dedication to this congregation, and look, she's put up with me and put up with all of you, so show up. Okay? Please do join us. I think we are going to conclude now with the singing of Olam Chesed Yibaneh. We will build this world with chesed, with love.
And I would like to add
I
to
gotta say
thank you to my friend, my colleague Gustavo, Cantor Gustavo Gitlin. It's always, come every year. You can come every year, every time. You will have a place here to entertain us with your personality, your lovely voice. Our memories go back really many years ago, sharing memories as choir members in Argentina. That's where we met as college students, and since then we remain friends, and it's a pleasure to have you here.
Likewise.
Olam chesed yivaneh,
Olam chesed yibaneh, Olam chesed yibaneh, Olam chesed
I will build this world from love, together. And you must build this world.
And you must build this world from love.
And if we build,
This world from love.
then God will build.
Then God will build this world from love. Olam chesed
rise for Kiddush and Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, boreh peri agafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו בשבת קודשו, באהבה וברצוני נחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצוני נחלתנו. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh Shabbat. Amen. לחיים טובים.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen.
Shabbat shalom.